Yo, what's going on, guys? This video is going to be my thoughts on the new Ironsight patch and what I think about the new map in the game mode and what I found after about 2 hours of playing on Frontline. So to start off, the new game mode, if you haven't tried it yet, it's a 2-point game mode similar to War and Call of Duty. On offense, you have to capture 1 point in the middle of the map, then move on to a point that is further in the enemy spawn, and you need to capture that second point to win the match. You get a 5-minute time bonus after capturing the first objective. On defense, you have to stop them from capturing the objectives altogether. It's a fairly straightforward game mode, but there are a couple of glaring issues that I found with the mode and the map in my first few games that I wanted to share with you guys, as well as point out these issues to hopefully reach the devs for them to work on it. So to start off, I'll cover the map. The first thing that I heard about the map was that it was huge because of the 12v12 style of the game mode. At first I was thinking it was another Ironworks style map, but I was completely wrong with that. The size of this map is insane. I don't actually have another map to compare it to playstyle and size wise. I'll throw in a picture of the map for you guys to see just how large it really is. There's not necessarily something wrong with the large maps, but in a game without unlimited sprint and in a mode where you literally run out of sprint before reaching the halfway point to the objective, it just doesn't work. I know the reason they wanted it to be a large map was to better fit the amount of players on the map, but even with the double player count of the lobby, it's still extremely boring to have to run so far only to die by a sniper or get shot around the corner. Then you have to wait 5 seconds to respawn only to get killed by the same thing. The issues with this game mode are far more glaring once you reach the second point on attack. The first point is easy to cap because the defense has to run to you. Where you get screwed on attack is when you have to cap the second point, which is about a 7-second run out of the defense spawn, but a 15-second run with marathon from the attack spawn, running straight down the middle of the map, which isn't realistic. And that's not even counting the 5-second respawn timer, so it takes about 20 to 30 seconds to get back to the point on every death on the attack side, depending on which spawn you get, and that's not counting any gunfights you get into on the way there. This makes the 12v12 mode in this game the slowest game mode and least exciting to play. There's also so many extremely long lines of sight on this map with not enough cover to get to the point realistically without getting lucky. And with the difference in amount of time it takes to get set up on defense compared to attack, it's just a spam fest of grenades and spawn killing and sniping down corridors. The objective also seems to come secondhand to a lot of people, including myself. I found myself and my team, as well as the other team, simply using it as a big team TDM with an optional objective because realistically you can't capture the point by yourself, and it's still hard to cap with 2 other people on it with you because of the grenades and the streaks. With that being said, I feel like the game mode is extremely stacked towards one team, and it's rare to find an evenly matched game on Frontline. It is usually one team getting completely stomped and shut out with little that they can do to get to the objective, and most teams fail immediately at rushing an objective or fail immediately at defending, causing most games to either time out or end in 2 minutes. I didn't make this video just to point out all of the issues without suggesting any fixes to them, so here are a couple of suggestions that I would like to share on how I would improve this mode and the map. The biggest thing that needs to be fixed is the spawns. Respawning all the way back on attack, even after capturing the first point. Our spawn is way too far away from the second point to capture without getting completely wiped. Attack spawn needs to be moved up after capping the first point, and defense should spawn closer while defending the first point. Defense should be pushed back after attackers capture the first point. And I feel like that just makes sense and doesn't really need much of an explanation as to why. Remove the spawn delay on attackers or reduce it. Right now it is far too hard to capture the point already, and the spawn delay makes it far more difficult than it has to be. It can stay on defense as a penalty for dying or pushing too far out of the spawn. I feel like just changing these 2 things would make a huge difference to how this mode plays out and would help balance attackers and defenders. Another idea would be to make a barrier for defenders. This is another thing that Call of Duty added to their war game mode, and it stops people from pushing too far into the enemy spawn on defense. There's a barrier that you can cross if you want, but you self-destruct after 3 to 5 seconds of staying outside of that barrier, and this would stop defenders from spawn camping the attackers and would better balance out the teams, in my opinion. So that's my opinions on the map. There definitely needs to be some changes to it because in its current state it feels extremely unpolished. I do want to cover 2 other things that came with the patch as well, and that's the new streak and the new secondary. Both of these items are extremely underwhelming. The Hydra is a great idea for a streak. Basically it's just a sentry gun that kills anything in a 180-degree radius, which is cool except for the fact that it has to lock on and warm up for like 2 to 3 seconds, which is far too long. Ironsight's an extremely fast shooter, and the fact that the Hydra needs to warm up for that long before it even starts shooting makes it a completely useless streak, and that by the time it locks on, the target moved off the screen and is out of the area completely. I'm not sure how I would manage this exactly, but I would think that maybe a slight nerf to the damage and have it instantly lock onto targets, and changing it to an assault streak would make more sense. The other thing that was underwhelming is the EMP grenade launcher. I put it on after I unlocked it and went into resource takeover to take out the sentinels, and it takes almost a whole 6 grenades to kill the Sentinels, and only does like a fifth or a sixth of a person's health when hitting them directly, which makes the weapon completely useless if it can't even kill the robots. It definitely needs a buff, at least to the drones or the robots at the very least. Their player health isn't much of an issue. I just wanted to make this video to cover my thoughts on the patch and what I felt needed to be addressed. I'm not trying to bash the devs in any way. I was actually really excited for the update, but it was pretty underwhelming to say the least. I hope this video helps point out the flaws that we can hopefully see a change that comes with the game soon. Let me know your thoughts on the update, and if you agree or disagree with my points that I made here, I would love to hear what you guys think about it. Peace out.